live in all channels. Let's see. I'm gonna have to mute this other one. Okay, that's muted. Probably don't get too many people from Instagram unless you got a bunch of people on there. I don't know. I don't really have too many people join my
When I keep
Instagram
getting
live.
alerts on my computer, you don't hear that, do you?
Yeah, I do it. I do.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, it comes through every time. Like I'm like, I thought it was mine, dude. I started muting like my tabs and stuff at the top. Yeah, we go. This thing, I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, see if a few more people pop in here. I don't know if you can share it, but yeah, we got 2 people in on Instagram. I'm gonna go ahead and share it on Facebook. Boom. I just shared it on Facebook. All right, man. We got a few people in here. Austin, what up? What up, Austin? Dick that I thought it was 7:30. I thought it was too, but I put the wrong time. Merlin reminded me it was 8 o'clock. I when I made the flyer for this live tonight, I forgot to put 30 on my 8 o'clock. So it's all good. Appreciate everybody tapping in. So welcome to Tweezy's chat. You know what I mean? Yak chat. You know what I mean? Today we got one of my good buddies on, Merlin the Hammer. He hey, we've been fishing together for the last few years, man, and it's been pretty good against us, man. We've been I always look for you on the leaderboard, dude, for real.
Yeah,
Like,
it's always
no
good.
lie.
Always good to compare.
Yeah, it is. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, Merlin Hammer the third. I I've been in the kayak fishing scene since 2020. That was my rookie season. Been fishing my whole life, like before I can even remember it. I've been had a rod in my hand, and I got that from my dad. Fish boat tournaments with him before I got into the kayak fishing stuff, and then yeah, just
Okay.
tackle nut, have all kinds of fishing tackle. I'll post it on Instagram all the time and all that. So yeah.
Yeah. I think that's ran to tweet and mainstream live. Yeah, text. Most definitely. I support my guy, but yeah, man, when I first got into the game, man, you really like I don't know, you just became a friend, you know what I mean? You didn't hesitate to talk to me. You know, I was that guy that was just kind of shy, you know what I mean? Didn't really know too many people when I first got into the kayak scene. And you was one of the first guys to just come up and, hey, what's up? Just start talking to me. I think it was more so you seen me posting stuff online, and I don't know, we just jailed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Once we started communicating and
yeah,
seeing each
sure.
other a lot more at the tournaments and whatnot.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
I was gonna say that's just one of the best things about the kayak fishing thing. Like, see new people, just start talking to them, get a lot of friends that way. So it's a nice community to be in. So
Yeah. So you just said that you fish boat tournaments with your dad.
yeah. So growing up, I didn't get to do a lot with him. He always fished them. He had always like club partners and all that and stuff. But once I got out of college, we did a lot of the USA Bass and stuff, and we still do those every year now. We try to do, I don't know, 10 or so at least. Usually like Boggs, Monroe, and maybe a few other places.
Yeah, those are some good lakes, man. I like bogs a lot, man. As soon as like I was fishing bogs through Grubby, and
Mm.
uh, and it's like as soon as I started getting a handle on bogs, they took it off the list.
I
I
know,
was
right?
I was like, dang, man, that
What's
was one of my spots.
What's crazy about bogs is I grew up 30 minutes from it, and I only fished it maybe 3 times going up. I fished Monroe a lot growing up, but for some reason,
Yeah.
we just never really went down to bogs that much.
Oh yeah, Slap Fox. Okay, yeah, you got that shirt in the mail. I told you it was in the mail. Appreciate, you know what I mean? Appreciate the support, man, for real. But yeah, man. So I want to ask you how is the community in the boat scene like versus the kayak scene? You know what I mean, seeing that you know what I mean, did a little boat tournaments and whatnot.
Well, in the boats, like, I mean, there maybe be a few guys who'll talk to you, but
Mhm.
most of them you've already known before, and maybe
Yeah.
there's some friends that you knew beforehand. But yeah, it's not like everybody's like in a like tight knit community and talks to each other all the time. Like first year in the kayaks, like I've talked to so many people that I didn't know beforehand, and it's a lot nicer. Like everybody's more secretive in the boat world and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. I once I got into this community, I never like I can honestly say I only been on a bass boat twice. You know, I
Yeah,
got on and it was crazy part. The first one was at Boggs. It was this older guy, and I was doing a tournament, and he was like, man, I got some spots. We were just talking at the ramp, and he was like, man, put your kayak up, man, in your truck, and come on the boat. He had a what is it, Z21?
yeah.
Yeah, he had a Z21. And I was like, oh, okay. So we got on that mug, dude. And I tell you, he was busting 60 down, like down the lake, dude. No, like ain't holding back, dude. I was like a kid in the candy store, dude. I was like, man, I was so happy.
Bugs with that 30-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Yeah, but he hit 60, dude. I was like, whoa. But
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot, man.
yeah.
And I almost made go ahead.
Me and my dad, like he had always so like he was always a non boater. Like he didn't have his own boat, and then finally when he got his own boats, like he kept buying like old used boats and kept
Mhm.
having issues with them. So in 20 2019, me and him bought a Nitro Z20, and so a brand new Z20, and so that's what we got. So
Okay.
it's my other ride outside
Yeah.
outside of the kayak.
Yeah. Hey, and that's good to have a boat, man, because in a kayak world, we gotta be more strategic, man, because we move so much slower than these bigger boats. They can hit spots, boom, 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 all over the lake. And we have to hit this spot, make sure we break it down, hit this spot. It's pretty crazy. So do you like I know you got a kayak and a boat, but what do you prefer to be on as far as,
I mean,
like
when it I
without
get
doing the tournament, without doing
so
tournaments, just fun fishing.
yeah, so with like that, like the boat, like when I'm not with him, I'm not in it because like he keeps it, and I mean honestly, like it's a lot easier to deal with a kayak. No, you don't have to pay for gas. You don't got to pay for all the extras that come with having a boat. And yeah, having the
Yeah,
kayak just loaded up, going somewhere and throwing it in is a lot easier to deal
yeah,
with.
yeah. You used to roof rack your kayak, man, for the
Up
past
until
year.
last year, yeah.
Yeah. You was all over the place in that thing, boy. You racked up some mallards.
Oh yeah, that first
Yeah.
year and yeah, 2020, my first year, I think I fished. Actually, 2021 was when I got a lot. I think I fished over 60 tournaments that year.
Oh, okay. Hey, Tex Hunt man say, how fast can y'all paddle a yak? Like top.
Mm, when I paddled my old yak before I started pedaling, I mean I was probably still in the 3.5, 4 mile an hour area.
Yeah, I would say yeah, that three and a half. If you put a lot of effort into it, you can probably get to, a little
In
over
the
four.
four
But
plus, yeah.
you only gonna do that for a couple seconds though. Trying to paddle that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I remember my rookie year before I had a pedal kayak. I was paddling all over Monroe, and yeah, that was
That's no fun, dude. That lake is so big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I remember I did one row in my Pelican Catch 110. I think it Pelican Catch 120, whatever it was. But man, that kayak is not made for that lake, dude. Like I broke the paddles. Like I guess I pushed them too hard, and I broke like the pieces that keep it stable. I broke them.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, dude. And then all the boat traffic, you trying to, you know what I mean? Once I had to pull my paddles up, I had to
Yeah.
paddle back. Yeah, I'm dealing with wakes and
They
man,
don't care.
man, they do not care, dude. When them guys out there, they having fun. They got their kids on those inflatables and stuff, cruising around the lake, man. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Real crazy. You know what I mean? So what was your first kayak?
So my first kayak I never actually fished out of in the kayak tournaments, and that was a Pelican like angler sit-in kayak. And
Mhm.
honestly, I only fished out of it like 3 times, and then I hung it up. And then when Gander Mountain was going out of business, I bought a native sit-on for cheap, and then I fished out of that most of my first year, and then I got my native Slayer Max,
Gander
and
Mountain, that's a throwback, bro.
and then
Yeah.
after the Slayer Max, now I'm in the Hobie. I still have
Yeah.
the Slayer Max, and I still have my sit on too. Like I kept them,
Mhm.
but they're still there.
Yeah, I sold my Pelican, man, but I did keep I had two Pelican. I had to sit in and then I had to sit on top. Another reason I got Pelican was because they was at Academy. I was able to just go to the store and pick them up. But
Yeah,
yeah, I got rid of that Pelican quick. You know what I mean? But I still have my sit in. That was and I have my well, I gave my inflatables away. My first kayak was an
yeah,
inflatable.
that green and black inflatable.
Yeah. I think what is it? An Intex? I can't. I
You
think
can
it's
you used to be able to get those at like Menards.
yeah. I actually one of my buddy in Austin when I worked at the hospital, he came to me one day and was like, man, oh excuse me, I actually we answer this in a minute. Um But yeah, he asked me to go fishing with him. I'm like, man, he like him and his stepdad is going fishing. I'm like, man, I love fishing, bro. Like, what's up? And he like, you got a kayak? I'm like, a kayak? No, I ain't got no kayak, bro. He like, you ain't go buy one from Academy, man. They, what I mean, $200 at the time. I told you early before we got on the line. I'm like, man, I'm cheap, bro. I'm not about to go spend $200 on no yak. So
Yeah,
I ended up looking online and I found an inflatable and for like 70, $80 that green and black one. And I bought it and we ended up going. He was kind of skeptical about it. He was like, man, you sure you want to get out of that thing? I'm like, hey, we gonna make it happen today. If it
yeah,
ain't what it do, if it ain't what it is, man, we out of there. So
yeah.
yeah, he take me to his lake, and when I tell you, bro, I slayed him on his lake, and he wasn't catching nothing, dude. I was killing him, man, with a spinning rod and a Senko, dude, killing
Oh
him,
yeah.
bro, killing him. And I caught, man, so many fish that day, dude. I hate to say it, but he had that look on his face, like, man, what the heck, man, like you know when you don't
Like
catch
that,
no
that
fish.
look when you're getting schooled.
Yeah, he had that look. I was just so. I mean, that's when I knew I'm like, man, I gotta get him. I gotta get on this water. But I
Yeah.
punctured that thing, and yeah, that was the end of it. But yeah, so I know you were saying earlier about how the boaters are secretive with their baits. Man, according to your Instagram, bro, you give out all the juice. So
Hey,
how do you feel about like being a tournament angler and basically, sharing what you're using and all the baits and stuff on Instagram? You don't is that like you don't care?
honestly, honestly, I like to teach people. Like it's fun to share. It's fun to like talk about whatever. I've never been one. My dad, it's funny. Like we'd be in the boat and somebody would pull up in the tournament and they'd start talking to us and they'd be like, "How you doing today?" And we'd have like a full like 5 in the boat and he'd be like, we caught like one." And in my head, "Yeah, we've been doing all right," but you never would tell anybody. Like he was like, he would not tell people. But me, I'm the opposite way. Like, if I would answer first, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're doing all right."
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
it's like that. Like I don't care. Like the thing is like somebody else can have the same bait, but if they're not using it the right way, if they're not doing exactly what you're doing, sometimes if they're not in the right spot, whatever, like they're not going to be able to replicate your results. Like I've always been like it's it's fishing. Like I mean, you gotta. Everybody has their own way to do it, and I know some of the baits are gonna resonate with some people, and some are gonna go to other people. Like everybody doesn't use everything, so I mean, I
Yeah,
try to. I mean, even me, there's a lot. There's things that I still have a lot of need for improvement on, but
yeah.
like
I
I always,
mean, with this game, man, you gonna always learn, bro. You're not gonna like
yeah,
even the pros learn, dude. You know what I mean? And
oh
they
yeah.
and they and they in their situations.
But that's like why I like to share what I do know, maybe help somebody else get a little ahead in their game. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I appreciate it, bro, because you didn't taught me a lot, you know.
yeah, I mean, that's awesome, and that's actually more cool to hear. Like if somebody like if I post something and somebody was like, "Hey, what you just told me helped me go catch some fish." That's
Yeah,
rewarding. Like that's nice.
yeah, yeah. And I hate to say it, but I'm better now. But I was like that, man. I was like your dad, man. I didn't want to share secrets at first, you know what I mean? And like for the first whole year, man, like last year or a year before that, man, I didn't want to say nothing because we were. Is that me or you? Oh, okay. But I'm so competitive. I don't want anybody to beat me in fishing. You know what I mean? So it's like I
Yeah.
try to keep things secretive. But at this point, I'm like, man, it's just fun. You know what I mean? And like you saying, you have to go out there and duplicate. You know what I mean? What I'm doing in order to catch the fish. I mean,
Mhm.
just because you have the bait doesn't mean that you're just gonna necessarily slay them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Unless you tweezy. You know what I mean? And if you down in Gunnersville, my boy
Oh,
my boy Alex, he in the chat right now. He gave me the juice, and I went out there and slayed him. We both slayed him. We
I
all
know,
slayed.
I know. By talking to you, you like one of my spots down there. We're gonna have to if
Oh
you fish
yeah,
if you fish in the bass this year, you're gonna have to stay out of there.
yeah. You know what's crazy though? I didn't even go there the last time I was down there, dude. I mean, I went there to practice, but I didn't fish during the tournament while I was down
Yeah.
there. I went to a totally different spot, and I mean,
Was
I
that
had
when
some.
you got? Was that when you fished with JT and stuff?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, we had a good team, bro. When I tell you, man,
Oh
we
yeah,
started off good, dude. Like about 6:30, 7 o'clock, dude. We had
you all had
like
18
yeah,
pluses.
yeah, we all had 18s. And then Liz, she actually missed a big fish, you know what I mean? And then she
Yeah,
came back and anchored us a little bit later on in the day with a 20. But it's just wasn't enough, man. We lost in the last 10
yeah,
minutes of that.
yeah. That was rough.
Yeah, it's always rough, man, dude. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I had a tough ride home, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
would have been the same way,
yeah,
especially if you lost something and you're like, oh, that would have been the one.
yeah, dude. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I like trophies now. You know what I mean? So any tournament I can get in that has a trophy like that, I'm with it. You know what I mean? It's not even really about the money. I want the trophy because hardware is forever, man.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. Like money's nice. It's
Yeah,
obviously
it is.
it's nice to have, but the titles
Uh huh.
that's what
Yeah.
people they're gonna remember you for. That's what they're gonna talk about, and that's what you're gonna remember. Like
Yeah, yeah. And I like to just go back and look at them and reminisce.
I got my Siyak ones right there. So
I know, I see. All right, well, since she brought it up, let's go ahead and get it to it, man. Two-time champion, Siyak Club. That's Southern Illinois. What is it? Uh,
Southern Indiana Yak Anglers Club.
Yak Anglers. I don't know why I always get that mixed up, dude. You know what I mean? I just think it's just.
You've been in Illinois too much. You've been over there
Oh,
fishing this whole time. You mixing us up.
I know, man, dude. I love fishing over there, dude. I really do.
Oh yeah, if I was a
I'm going.
sport with you, I'd
I'm
do
going.
it too.
Yeah, I'm going over there tomorrow, dude, actually. So I'll show you all what I'm gonna be throwing here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and get back into what I was about to talk about with you. Two-time champion here, you know what I mean? Siyak Club.
Back
Hey,
to
how
back.
how was yeah, back to back. 22 and 23, y'all. Hey man, matter of fact, bring the trophy. You got the trophy? Yeah, bring him over here, man. Show the people. Hey, this is my boy. I was excited for him, bro. I was like, man, hey, during our championship, man, me and Merlin was talking, bro. We was going back and forth. Hey, I was at the lake all week, dude. We going back and forth. I'm like, man, I know nothing about this lake. And luckily,
Man,
it
that
was
lake was
close.
tough last time. That thing was hard as it gets.
Yeah, it was really, really tough. So let's see.
Going into that last one, I had only hopes of maybe catching one or two fish, and it just all fell in place. So
Yeah. So that first championship, 22, it was at Sullivan Lake.
hmm
And I came in third. Wyatt was second, right? It was Wyatt, and then you,
yeah,
yeah, and then you was second. I mean first. So guys, check this out. This is how this played out. So this how this played out. So we all fishing good. You know what I mean? We all got numbers up on the board. And then here it is. I come around, everybody know about the pond. So it's a little pond. You know what I mean? So
I honestly didn't know. I'd never been to that lake.
okay, you never been to it, but I'm sure you heard of it.
I actually did it. It just
You
looked right
didn't?
on the map looking at it.
Oh, okay. But anyways, Merlin seen me come around the corner. I'm about to head to a spot where he was like literally maybe like a few hundred, you know what I mean, maybe 100 yards from. He see me coming. I'm like, he beeline. He turned around. He was going down this way. He seen me coming. He's like, boop, turn back around, dude. And then I swear, I promise y'all, as soon as I got to him, he was pulling out what, a 19 at the time, a 19 incher, or was it that 20?
No, that was that 20. Yeah, that biggest one I had. That
Yeah, that was a 20, dude. As soon as I got down there, dude, he was pulling out. I was like, oh man. And then, you know what I mean? Maybe like what 30, 40 minutes later, you pull out another 19.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, bro. I
Yeah,
was like,
that was day one when I think I had like 86 and like second best that day was like 66.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, like,
Coming into that time though, so what had happened prior to that was I had caught, I don't know, 3 or 4 fish out of there,
mhm.
and I had left it. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna let it rest and I'm gonna come back. And then I see you come over. I'm like, well, it's not gonna rest if you do. I'm
Hey, it was not gonna rest. I was on my way, boy. I was about to come catch some, but
when I
hey,
first
we
came into it though, Wyatt had already been in there. Like
oh, okay.
he had already fished it, and like I came in there, and before I even popped in there, I was like, "Hey, it's cool if I come in there behind you." He's like, "Yeah, it's cool." And then I
Yeah.
came in and I caught like 2 or 3 right behind him.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's golden, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Everybody know about it. It's a community spot, so I
Yeah,
mean that's why I don't even care about talking about it. But hey man, that spot produces, man. It really does, man. So
yeah. I found the juice within the juice when I was in there. At least this
yeah,
time.
yeah, you did. You was you care to share what you was throwing? You what you catch that 21? I mean, what 20 and
Oh,
a 19 one?
back
Yeah,
then that was on a jackhammer.
jackhammer.
Yeah.
I thought you said the general too. I think you got one
Well,
on
the general is so, and when I first started fishing in there, I was using a spinner bait,
the.
and then the big fish that I caught in there came on the jackhammer.
Okay.
I was letting it sink to the bottom and just creeping it on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then after that, especially day two, the general was the one that
Yeah.
that day.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, man. That was awesome, man. It was awesome,
Man,
man.
well,
Hey,
day two was the bad day.
yeah, but you had already, you know what I mean, did what you were supposed to on day one. So I mean it worked out.
I caught that last fish to win it with 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Like 5 minutes left, dude. Like I was like, man, hey, that's why you always have to fish to the end, man. Like never stop because the
I was
same
after having
situation.
2 fish DQ'd to start the day.
Yeah, that's what didn't you have the bad code or something like that? You didn't write the code down right?
I just didn't write it down.
Oh man,
I
you was too anxious. That's what it was.
had the previous day's code on there, and I was just fired up from the first day. I was like, I got
Yeah.
20-inch lead, no big deal.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then, yeah, DQ'd.
Yeah. That sucks, man. You always jump out pretty good though, man.
I'm more of a morning fisherman for sure. Like I get
Yeah.
most of my stuff in the morning.
All right, y'all. So another tournament that we did over in Siyak, I can't remember where we were, but that's where you caught the 22 incher.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that
yeah,
sugar this
so
last
check so check this out, y'all. I'm pulling up to the lake. Like nobody know where anybody go. What lake was that? I mean, like
I
what
don't even
area?
remember the name of it, to be honest. It was called like
I can't remember either,
something.
but it was,
It was called something West.
yeah, it had a lot of lakes though. It maybe had what,
Oh,
about
Sugar Ridge
five.
was the tournament. It was all the Sugar Ridge pits.
Okay, yeah. So we could fish all those Sugar Ridge pits. I come late to the tournament, dude. I pull up, I don't know, lines in at 7, I'm assuming. And next thing you know, I'm like 7:30. But it was a nice ways, dude. It's probably like hour 45 minutes, almost 2 hours for me to get to that tournament. But nobody know where anybody is, I'm assuming. I'll just pull up and see Merlin car. I say, oh man, he up in this joint. So next thing you know, I look at the leaderboard, I instantly see a 22 incher, dude. I said, damn, I'm like, dude, that's early in the morning. Actually, I was driving. I was driving to the lake and then I seen it. See, it was like first
I
thing in
caught
the
it like
morning,
10
wasn't it?
minutes in. Yeah.
Yeah. So a 22 incher first thing in the morning. I look at the leaderboard when I first get to the lake. I say, this boy done caught a 22 incher already. I said, oh man. And then the crazy part is, soon as I pull up to the lake, I say, I see his car. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in the right spot. But man, that lake was tough actually.
I had already caught like 4 out of there by the time I saw you. And
Yeah.
yeah,
See, that's why you gotta be on time, y'all. You know what I mean? I could have
yeah.
beat him to the spot, but he was already there resting, chilling.
I always go by the if you're not early, you're late. So I'm always out on the water way before anybody else.
Man, yeah, yeah. So how do you prepare for a tournament? Do you rig your stuff up at night, or how do you
Yeah, I
what's your
definitely.
preparation?
So usually, so I have a whole system. Well, I like, but like I start doing my like most of my prep the day before or like a couple of days before. And what I do even before that even happens is like I'll be I work from home, but even before
Yeah.
I work from home, I'm always thinking about fishing, even when I'm not fishing. And like I just I think of what lake I'm going on and I start making a list on my phone of what I'm gonna be throwing. Like I
Mhm.
come up with like a lineup of my starting baits and write a note, and then I write secondary baits. I call it my bench because I have starters and a bench. It's how I play. Do like a like
Yeah.
sport, and like I always have like a whole list. So then the night before when I'm prepping, I have a whole closet full of tackle over here, and I have my backpack, and I'm always rotating things in and out based on what tournament I'm going to be fishing.
Mhm.
And uh, I so I always tie on my starting stuff, and then I go through and then I just rotate in and out what I need that night, and then yeah, and then just load everything up at night and be ready to go in the morning.
Okay, okay. How many rods do you normally well, before we go on, man, Austin said 22 inches is a, trophy bass for us in this area. You know what I mean? Do you feel the same way?
I mean, it's the biggest 22 and a quarter was what it actually was, and that's the
Okay.
biggest. That was the biggest Indiana fish I've caught. I had a 22 and a quarter at Caddo Lake in Louisiana a couple of years ago, and that's Ty's my biggest largemouth.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I may
Um,
have caught one or two bigger in the boat, but not in Indiana.
yeah, see, my biggest came out of Illinois and it was a 23 incher.
I caught one and on Chickamauga in the boat that it was like a 6 pounder, so it was probably close to that 22 inch. Like that, it might have been shorter, honestly, but I mean, it was a big fish. But that one that I caught that was 22 and a quarter, I weighed it, and that thing only weighed 5.07 pounds. Like it was scrawny. Like it was on its way. That should have been like 6.5 pound fish, and it had a big old head on it, and
Yeah.
it was just scrawny as could be. It was like it was. I mean, it was post spawn, so and it was just an
Mhm.
old fish. So
Yeah, man. I want to get mine. I want to get a mount of mine, tax, and get it taxidermied.
yeah,
And
yeah, that's a really nice fish. That one you caught on that jerk bait.
yeah, yeah, man. Bro, I think about that. I think about that fish all the time, dude. That's why I'm over there all the time, dude. Like I'm into these big baits now, dude, because I think
Yeah,
that's what's gonna catch them, man. Like I love catching fish, but I think I'm at that point now where like I just want to go catch big fish. I don't care about catching, smaller fish at this point. I just want big fish. Unless
I,
I'm in a tournament. But if I'm going out fun fishing, it's one of them. I think I'm into the big swim baits and glide bait.
I'd like to get back over to Newton because there was the only time I've ever fished it. I got on a point where like every cast for like 45 minutes with a jerk bait, I was catching one, and they were all decent, like probably like 15 to 18-inch fish, and
Hmm.
most of them were closer to like 15. And then I hooked into something, and it never came up, and it was just rip and drag, and then I kept bring it back, rip and drag, and I use a spinning rod when I use a jerk bait, and I
Hmm.
accidentally hit the line with my finger, and it made the line jump, and that bait popped out, and I never got to see what it
Ooh.
was.
Hey, that sucks. But you know what's crazy though? That 8 pounder that I caught, man, it actually didn't even feel like an 8 pounder. I mean, it felt big, but it just didn't, when it was that big, it didn't like it hit a few head shakes, and then next thing you know, it just like swam until I got it to the boat. It didn't put up a huge fight like a smallie or something.
Yeah.
It just felt like pulling up a tree.
Yeah, in tournaments though, so I see this guy says quality over quantity. Um,
Hmm.
in tournaments, I'm all about catching your five fish. I don't care how big they are to start.
Hmm.
I'm pretty consistent on being able to find a limit, but like even then, I'm more of a slow upgrader. Like I've been doing this, and I've never yet had a 90-inch day, even on the water.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had it. My best is like 89 and change. Like
Wow.
I'm
As
not.
much as much success you done had, bro. You haven't cracked that 90 yet, bro.
See, it's all for me. It's about. Yeah, I'm more of a consistent, like always in the mix. Like I might not
Hmm.
be the biggest best bag all the time. Even my
Yeah.
even my wins I have. Like I like grinder tournaments because usually in grinder tournaments is where I do better because
Hmm.
everybody's grinding, and
Hmm.
then on those free for all tournaments where everybody's just catching fish, big fish are going to be caught and that kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
usually I can hang, but that's usually where I'm not at the top because I'm usually in the top quarter, but like or the top 10 or whatever. But I those big bags that's hard for me to get. And it might be how I fish. Like my favorite thing to fish is a fluke, and a fluke is a great fish catching bait, but you don't always
Hmm.
catch big fish on a fluke. I mean, you can catch big ones, but it's not
Uh,
you're not gonna catch like as many as like throwing like
so
as
you
big
don't see
as
you
something.
don't see an increase in size if you do you use Magnum flukes?
What's funny is I've thrown a magnum fluke a little bit, still never caught one on
Oh man. I
it.
got I got some buddies down in Ohio, man. They love throwing them flukes, man. They love the Magnum flukes and all of that, dude. And like I was into flukes like crazy too, man. Back when before I had a kayak, and I would do a lot of bank fishing.
Yeah.
Like what worked best for me was sometimes just dead sticking it, just let it go all the way to the bottom and let it sit for a second or two.
Oh yeah,
And
it's just like kind of like a Senko, even like a Senko or whatever, a stickworm.
mhm.
You just
Have you ever?
you switch it back like a fluke. Sometimes it like on retrieve, like and
Yeah.
you can just they kind of interchange for me.
Okay. Now, have you you throw the donkey rig often?
I actually have only ever thrown it a couple times, and again, I've never caught a fish on it.
Okay, yeah, I haven't. I mean, I got hooked up. For y'all that don't know what a donkey rig is, it's like two rigs together. I mean, two lines on one line. And
Yeah,
they
you
got
got a main line, and then you put your fluke on
right.
your main line. Then you got well, you have a swivel in between, and then you have a swivel with a line connected to it, and that's your second fluke.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I like that rig a lot. It's just it remind me like a not um a rig, but a shorter a rig.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, that got I think that got more popular like around like those like herring lakes and stuff down in Carolina and stuff, kind of like Murray, where everybody
yeah,
would go.
yeah. So I know we talked earlier, and I said I wanted to touch on swim baits. Now, do you throw your swim baits? I know you get a lot of baits. Hold on, first I want to add. I mean, I know you got thousands, probably thousands of baits, dude. Like out of all of those baits, how many of those do you actually fish, and then how many do you just sit in the mire because they just look cool?
I try to literally fish everything I get. Do I fish it consistently? No, but do I at least try them and see how I do with them? Usually. There are
Mhm.
some baits, since I do have so many, that haven't gotten their chance yet, but I'm always like, "Huh, I should throw that," and then I'll eventually pick it up and throw it, but there's a lot of stuff that I get, and I'm like, "Ooh, that looks good for this situation." Like, I'm really bad about, like, buying something that I think is gonna be situational for a tournament, and then I just don't use it because I do
Yeah,
well with other stuff, and then it kinda gets put on the back burner. And
yeah.
then
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that's with a lot of people though, because I mean, I got several things that was working in the past, and I was slaying them on them, but I just put it down because the new hottest thing came out, and you start catching it on that.
that's one thing I've really, really been trying to do the last couple years, and I tell my dad the same thing because growing up, he had, like, a lineup of, like, 5 baits that he used. And I always remember and then, like, I had, like, some staple baits that I use, and I've always still thrown some of my staple baits, but there's a few that fade out. Then I get to the point where I'm like, "Why did I stop throwing that?" And then I try to bring them back in, and, like, a spinner bait was one, and a
Mhm.
couple of years ago, that I did had my best spinnerbait year in a couple of years.
All right, so Austin, say, what's a bait that surprised you and it become a arsenal, a regular in your arsenal?
What's big gonna surprise you? How well it's worked and has become a part of your arsenal. Well, it's probably a staple bait for a lot of people, and I guess it's not really a surprise. But honestly, up until last year and a half, I was never a jig fisherman, and I finally started picking up a jig. And like I said, it's not a surprise to me, to the general public, but to me, finally getting good with it, that was something like people are usually pretty good with, and it took me a while to get good with it.
Yeah,
It's a different bite than like a Texas rig or whatever. Like I've always been somebody who likes a Texas rig, and
yeah. You all, I think. Could I like me saying that you're a finesse fisherman? I would say. I mean, is
I
that
don't know
accurate?
if I would consider myself finesse, because I honestly the only like a fluke might be finesse, but the
Yeah,
way I fish it and the speed I fish it is more of a power speed. Like I'm not being delicate with it or anything, because like my favorite things to throw nowadays are a frog, which is power, a fluke, which can be finesse or it can be power.
hmm,
Um, And then, like I said, I like dragging a Texas rig a lot. That's probably one of my favorite. Carolina rig. I mean, nobody ever throws a Carolina rig, especially in the kayak, and that's one of my favorite
hmm.
things. And then, like, I mean, sorry about that, but
Oh, yeah,
but um, but yeah, like, I mean, there's sometimes that I could lean finesse, but I'm not somebody who throws like a Ned rig or a drop shot or
okay,
any of the typical finessey stuff.
yeah,
Like, I barely even throw a shaky head. Like, a shaky head I'll put on when I feel like I need to, but
hmm,
it's not like a main staple in my arsenal by any means.
yeah. Now, would you consider like the not drop shot, but the Ned rig and the shaky head the same, or no?
No, no, I think they're different for sure. Like, I mean,
Because
they're
I kind of think they similar. You know what I mean?
I
But
mean, they can be, you can fish it similar, but I don't know. I think of a Ned as a small bait, but like you can, I guess nowadays, like I
You
know,
can
like
upsize it. You can
yeah, you can
upsize
throw
the
like
net.
a big 4 or 5 inch Ned, but a true Ned, like you think of as like a little like 3 inch bait. Like I know
Mhm.
that's not what everybody throws. Like and in a shaky head, you can obviously throw like a 3 inch shaky head too. Like one of my
Yeah,
favorite things to throw on a shaky head is just like a little like 3.5 or 4 inch worm. So I mean, like I don't know, they can be similar. I mean, there's even Ned heads now that are like weedless Neds that are pretty much shaky heads. So
yeah. I love the weedless Ned head from
yeah,
Z Man. Thing
yeah,
yeah, a lot.
I throw that blues baits like weedless Ned. That's the one
Hmm.
that that wide gap one.
Yeah. These.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
like I what I like best about that one compared to some of the other ones is the hook gap at the top between the lead and the like where you actually put your bait is it's got the right width on it. Because some of them they put that gap too short.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy that you said that, dude. I was actually making a video of. Well, y'all will see it later.
Yeah, and
But
the main little Ned bait when I do Ned is like that little Ned zone, the little X zone Ned zone.
yeah. But you gotta think though, man. So I this is a Ned head, but like you said, most people would think little small 2 inch, 3 inch baits. But when you fishing this thing right here,
Oh yeah,
it,
that's a
it-
2 or 3 wide gap hook. You can put a
yeah, like look at that. That's a whole Cinco on that thing, dude, on the
oh
Ned.
yeah for sure yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that can attract a big fish for you.
Yeah, I used to use that BMC rugby head, and it's more of like a kind of like a ball head Ned kind of more than the flat top mushroom head.
Or you can do it that way, or you can cut it in half and make you a regular Ned.
Yeah, I mean that's how I that's how I got. It's like sometimes I'm cheap and I'll take my old stick worms and cut them in half and recycle them.
Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Who you talking to, man? Hey, y'all don't know that me and Merlin one and the same, man. We cheat, man. We cheat. But look
Hey,
at that.
I've got some big fish on a little 2.5 chunk of Cinco.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I was, what I mean, that little thing right there, boy, that'll get you look at that little movement, baby. That bug vibrating that little tail. But yeah, man. Actually I know a lot of people who don't like it, but the Ned is like one of my favorite baits, dude. Like you would be surprised. Like I had a lot of success on the Ned last year.
I would never claim it to be a favorite bait of mine, but
Yeah.
it's one of it's so there's a few baits and a drop shot and a net or two of them where I'm in a tournament and I'm like, I have like 3 fish and I'm like, I need to catch something and I'm struggling. And I'll be like, tie on a drop shot or a net. And there's sometimes I'm one of the most stubborn people and I just won't tie it on. And then after the tournament, I'm like, somebody will be like, I caught one on a drop shot or a Ned, and I'm like, well, I thought about it, but I didn't do it. And I'm like, I'm
Hmm.
too stubborn sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I love like we did a lot of tournaments, Merlin. Like we did, especially last year. Though. I know I did a whole lot of them, and then the year before that, I broke your record this year because the year before last, y'all, Maryland did what maybe about 30 some tournaments. I can't remember exactly.
In Grubby, yeah, I did 6 series was my most in one year.
Yeah, and I broke that this year because I don't know, man. I was chasing that AOI with Ryan over in Grubby. Him and
I think that year, me and
him and
Austin
James.
both fished 6 series that year.
Yeah. And dude, like those guys are some hammers, man. Like we was going back and forth, man. The leaderboard, that top three, it was neck and neck,
Yeah,
dude.
James, he came out of nowhere. I didn't. He's like a rookie last year. He was just like on it.
Bro, he came out of nowhere, dude. I tell you, he got the beast, and I said, James, what it? And I think what it was, man, I don't know for sure, but I think he got comfortable with that jig. I think that's
Yeah.
what happened, dude. Once he got comfortable with that jig in his hand, like he started slaying them, dude, like left and right. Everywhere he pulled up, man, he was just catching big fish and top three majority of the time. He did very well, man. Him and Ryan, man. It was a lot of people
Yeah.
that did really well last
Yeah,
year.
me and Ryan used to battle it out at bogs. Like me and him always had fun messing with each other. A few years ago when Boggs was only putting out like because Boggs was drained at one point, and then they put in the fish, and they've been growing about inch and a half, 2 inches every year, and it was when like 14s and 15s were the common fish, and if you caught like a 16 or a 17, you were like doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I had led all day long, and then he went and caught like a 20-incher with like maybe 20, 30 minutes left and knocked me off the top. And ever since then, I've been like, and that was like my first year, and I'd fished against him at Monroe and stuff, and like I was like, you're one of my rivals now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I felt about you at Sullivan, dude. And I know Wyatt, man, he was real shitty that day, dude. You saw it all on his face, dude. Like I
I
was like,
mean, I mean, it was, but like I mean, I should have put it in that tournament. I should have had it early on if I didn't.
yeah, because you didn't put your code down.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, it always sucks to lose at the end of the day. Like right,
Yeah.
and like you said earlier with that knucklehead one, that one was rough.
Yeah, man. It's rough, dude. I'm not even gonna lie with that knucklehead, man. I was telling Gramps, he might be in our chat, but man, dude, I was on the water, dude. Like on my way back to the ramp, man. I'm picturing myself with this trophy, dude. I'm in my head, like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna take a picture like this, like this. Yeah, you know what I mean? The next thing you know, bro, I go to look at my phone, dude. When I get close to the ramp, I'm like, what? I'm like, this can't be right, dude. I refreshed it about 2 or 3 times. I'm like, no, they didn't just catch an 18, bro. I was like, oh man, but it's all good though, man. I'm happy for those guys, man.
It just makes you hungrier next time.
Yeah, it do, and
Like
and
me,
also,
I've not won an AOI yet on any series, and that always like last year on that Siyak, like I wanted
yeah,
it so bad. And what's bad is there's one fish I can place in the season, and I'm like, I lost it like 5 feet away from me, and that one fish it cost me like 3 or 4 spots, and that would have won.
mhm,
And I'm just like, ah,
yeah, yeah. See, like, I won AOI in Illinois and didn't even like I wasn't trying. I didn't know. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I just like at the time, I was still new. This was in 22. So 21 is when I first got the autopilot, and 20 and 19 is pretty much me getting my feet wet. So 19, I did maybe one tournament. 20, I did a few, you know what I mean? I was really getting my feet wet. And then, the rest is history. But
yeah,
when I got to going over there to Illinois, I didn't even really know about Newton until Nate Goodwin. He told me about Newton. Like, man, you gonna do a tournament over there? I'm like, yeah, I'll go. You know what I mean? I just want to fish somewhere new. And next thing you know, hey, we over there, and I'm just doing good, man. Like, I didn't even know about AOI points and none of that stuff at the time. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm
yeah,
just out there just doing it for the hell of it. You know what I mean? Just because and then making a couple dollars.
yeah. Just trying to break even.
Yeah, yeah. It was really the competitiveness of it. Because
Oh yeah, that's how I am.
because back in the day, I would play basketball, and I always played, some type of competitive sport. So it's like, dude, I got hurt. Here it is. I had surgery on my elbow,
Yeah,
and that was one of the things that just like kind of knocked me off the court. I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm
yeah,
done. I'm not getting paid to play basketball now. You know what I mean? It's just like it's not worth it. And then here I'm an entrepreneur, so it's like if I get hurt, you know what I mean? I'm a one man show. So it's like if I get hurt, then I have nobody else to do my work. So
yeah.
so
And me nowadays, like I said, I work from home, and
mhm.
it's funny. You're like, if I get hurt, me, I'm like, as long as I don't hurt my reeling hand or my arm, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right about that. But let me have this ever happened to you? Because last year it happened to me, man. I was getting pains and stuff like in my shoulders and my back and arm, and it was going up and down
Not
my
really
neck.
there. I've had some like knee pains and stuff from
Yeah.
that. Sometimes when like getting back into the drive, like sometimes you'll pedaling around. I got that motor on board this year, so it'll help me a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, go ahead and talk about that. What kind of yak you gonna be rocking this year? You
I'll
said
be
you got a
back.
new motor and everything.
Yeah, I'll be back in the Hobie PA14, but I got a Newport now, so been going. I need to get it installed here before Murray. I'm not honestly. I got the motor, and I say it now, but I'm not planning on using it in every tournament. It's mainly going to be for the tournaments where I need to make a long run to get to what I'm doing, or if I'm covering water. But
Yeah.
like a lot of the small tournaments, like I mean, like small lakes, I'm
Yeah.
still gonna just pedal because honestly, like that's how I get my workout. So honestly, like I still
Yeah.
enjoy pedaling too. Like I mean, I only
Yeah.
got the motor because like last year when I fished Hartwell for the Bass series,
Hmm.
I was running like 3 to 4 miles in the morning to my spot, and that I just felt like I was using up time pedaling that I could have been using uh,
Hmm.
to fish, and so that's why I wanted to get a motor. But like, um, if it's one where I don't, where my runs are like 5, 10, 15 minutes, I'm not going to worry about it.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean,
I know your kayak is always a motor, so well,
yeah, yeah. Like I that's what I wanted, man. Because
you
like,
got spot lock and stuff, which is nice. Like the Newport, it's nice for getting where you're going, but that spot lock, that's nice.
yeah, that's a game changer. But um, it has its pros and cons, man. Because like I love the spot lock, but at the end of the day, I kind of want a pedal. You know what I mean? A pedal kayak
Hmm.
because like it can keep you in your spot. You know what I mean? You can just back up and you can just really maneuver. You know, in that way, like I would have to use the remote and you know what I mean,
Yeah,
go back this way.
having that 360 last year is the first year I hadn't fished out of my Slayer Max.
Hmm.
The Slayer was decent, and I like that kayak. I really like. I figured out the kinks in it, and once I did, I didn't have any problems with it. And then the Hobie, like that 360 drive, it's really nice. Like even in the windy days, you can still like rotate around on your spot pretty easily.
Hmm. And that was my next choice. When I was choosing kayak before I got the Old Town. Um, it was Old Town Native, and then Hobie.
Yeah,
Then I was like, man, I just want to be comfortable, you know what I mean, and be able to fish without being tired because, like I said before, man, I would paddle and like at the end of the day, dude, I would come home and be exhausted. I get home maybe 4 o'clock. I'm not waking up until it's time for work the next day, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? I was that tired from paddling and paddling. So it
yeah,
was
you
one.
definitely get tired. Definitely when you're making those long drives home, like those can be killer after a long day on the water.
Yeah, and you got to be really be safe, man, because dude, you can mess around and fall asleep.
Oh yeah, I always do. Right after I leave a tournament, I usually stop at a gas station and get like some candy and some soda, and just like try to charge up on sugar.
Yeah, yeah. It's been time, dude. I was driving home, man. I just dozed off, man. I had to like really pull over and get myself together.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah, you definitely hit those heavy eyes will hit you, and then
Hmm.
I always like when I feel that I crank the AC where I'm like freezing myself,
Yeah,
and I'm like do anything to keep
yeah,
myself awake.
yeah. You roll those windows down, dude, and you most
But no,
definitely
yeah,
try.
if you get too bad, yeah, obviously you gotta pull over. But yeah.
I did, Graham. So I had to pedal I always have to pedal my kayak, man, because I always kill my battery. I always make long runs, just like what you was just saying. Like,
NJT, I will be fishing all the Bass Masters.
yeah, that's what we was gonna get into next, though. You know, you're a qualifier for the Bass Kayak Series, man. How'd you feel when you were first seen that?
Yeah, man. Like last year that was one of my goals. That was like the first. Like I've done some like KBF trail events in the past, and I like those. But last year the Bassmaster series was like the national series I was going for, and I fished 4 of the 5, and the only one I didn't fish was at Possum Kingdom. And yeah, like I went into it, and the first tournament of the year was Gunnersville, which is my favorite place to fish. And I thought I was gonna like do great there. I mean, it was like 250 people on that first tournament. I think I came in like 60 something. I was I was pretty disappointed with it because I felt like that should have been a high finish just because that was one that I had. I like if I do good here, I'm gonna have some good points to go off of. And then after that, I fished Hartwell, which I'd never been to. Did a lot of Google Earth research, fish brain, like use all my tools that I use, and I came in 32nd in that one, and I was feeling pretty good. And then Possum Kingdom I didn't go to, and then lacrosse. I had a lot going on that time. Like I went up for practice, and then I drove all the way to Wisconsin for practice, and then something happened with my dog, and I had to drive all the way back home. Wow. Missed the rest of practice, and then I drove all the way back up, and I fished it. And wow. I did all right in that one, but I was kind of disappointed with that too. Like I caught a ton of fish. Like lacrosse is an awesome place if you want to just go catch fish. And then I finished the year at Susquehanna, where I actually finished pretty decent, and I ended up 25th in the Angler of the Year points, which was awesome. That's awesome. Being top 25 for the year and nationally, like I was really happy with that. So
yeah, that's real cool, man. And I'm no lie, dude. I'm extremely excited for you, man, because I like to see my friends succeed. You know what I mean? I consider you a friend, and I love to see my friends succeed, and I love to see them doing good things, man. So as soon as when I seen that dude, I was ecstatic for you. I'm like, damn, that's hard, bro. I'm like, I know I gotta get in there. So
yeah, I'm ready to go to Tin Killer here in March. That I've never been, but the way that lake sets up just on paper, it fits kind of like what I like to do. It's got a lot of like rock and wood, and it kind of just sets up like what I've always fished, and it'll be one of those ones I'm excited to try. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm most definitely. I can't wait. We doing it. We going down North Carolina in February, so that'll be my first time fishing a KBF series. I mean, not KBF, I'm sorry. I got KBF on my the Bass Kayak series, and I'm excited for it, man. I think us doing what we doing around here, I think we can hold our own on the national level.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we're already proven that, you know what I mean? Because here it is, you can go into the championship in a few months or a month, right?
It'll be in middle of March. So
yeah. So a little over a month, and man, look, hey, that's what's up, man. Congratulations.
I hope so.
Man, you're gonna do good, bro.
There'll be a few of us Indiana guys out there fishing it. It'll be Josh Shrenko, who won the Susquehanna. And then it'll be.
But he's a river guy, though.
Hey, that lake is full of smallmouth, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been on his page too. I've been watching him. I listened to his last live with was it Gramps, I think, and he was talking about the textures of, the different bottoms and stuff. I'm paying attention.
And then we got Matt Kiefer's going. I feel like there's a couple more of us going from Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have some numbers out there. I think, but we'll be able to hold our own, man. I think.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. You know what I mean? And what made me think that, and I'm not being cocky or anything, but me going down to Gunnersville for the KBF championship, man, and me coming in ninth, that
Yeah.
kind of that kind of just what I mean, like put me in that mindset, like yeah, I can do this, man. I can compete with some of these guys, and I can possibly get on that stage one day,
Oh
So
yeah. That's
that's the
yeah. I feel
that's
like
the ultimate goal.
Indiana is, I mean, it's one of the hardest states to fish in, honestly. And if you can do good in Indiana, it definitely
Yeah,
you
man.
can do good in a lot of other places. It's funny because like not trying to sound cocky or anything, but like when you do good in Indiana, like you go to other states and you're like, it seems easier.
It,
Like,
it is. It does, dude. It does. Like anywhere else I go, man. Anywhere else I've been, except for Ohio.
but obviously you're going to like the best lakes in the country. You're not going to like rinky dink, like nothing lakes. So
Yeah, but we grind it out here, though, man. We really do. Like, and I think that's where we shine, man, because we got some grinders. We got a lot of people that just put their boots to the ground, dude, put their head down and just go. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like for for an example, like me, I grind a lot. Um and man, just seeing down in Gunnersville, seeing who came man, his name just slipped my mind. Came in second in y'all championship, the HKB. Uh,
let's see. Glenn won it.
Glenn.
He
Was
won.
it Glenn?
He
Yeah.
won it. Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn.
And then
Brian, right? Brian Glenn came in second, right?
no, Glenn won.
Glenn
And
won.
Brian Sparks came in second.
Oh, okay, okay. But anyways, man, just seeing Glenn in action, dude, down there in Gunnersville, he got like an iPad, and you know what I mean. His laptop open. He comparing tools. You know what I mean. He even got software to tell him. You know what I mean. Different like levels and this and that. I'm like, damn, like I gotta step my game up,
Yeah,
dude.
one of my favorite things that I've been like, I mean, a lot of people do it now, but it's like go on Google Earth, like
Hmm.
bring it down to a time when use the time thing, bring it down to when the water's low, just like pick it apart and find spots, and then like then what's cool is like you can obviously import it onto your fish finder, and then you have all those spots. So it's really nice when you can just do that kind of thing.
Glenn did win. Glenn, I just remember Glenn won on that frog.
Yeah, he did. He was what like
Yeah. Yeah.
he was
I don't know
the
why I had a
there's
brain.
a
I couldn't
buzz
think of
frog,
his name for nothing.
that Biz Bates buzz frog thing.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I was tossing that thing around too, and I still ain't got no like bites on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's a good frog for the
Yeah,
time of year. He was
I've
doing
never
his
tried
thing.
that one in particular. I tried some of those frogs, but I like my old Buster K here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool looking bait, man. Bring that little hold on. I'm gonna give you the let me see that bait, dude. That thing is cool.
Got the rabbit fur and as the feet,
Yeah. Hey, that's a cool looking bait, dude.
and then I have it on my rod that I built myself because
Hmm.
when I work bait, I don't like a long rod. I like a short one, like when I do flukes or anything that I'm having to like twitch or whatever, because like longer rods they fatigue your hand a lot easier. And so I built a 6'6" heavy fast action frog rod, which is really weird for frogs, as most people don't throw anything shorter than like 7'3" for a frog. But
Uh-huh. Now, do you? I know they say use a shorter rod for jerking and twitching or whatever, but
yeah,
do you use a shorter rod because you're in a kayak too? Does that
no,
sway your?
honestly, I've always been that way. Boat, world, bank
Mhm.
fishing, whatever. Like, and with that rod, it's 6'6", but I have 50-pound braid on it, and I can almost spool that thing in a cast. That's not that it can't cast it any further than
Yeah,
that's usually the argument is, oh, a short rod can't cast as far.
no,
I mean,
it casts.
yeah, like
Just
I can bomb that thing.
yeah. Uh, Soft Fox said, he's gonna do the state.
Do that
Now,
mayhem. Mayhem's awesome. So
yeah.
get
So,
that figure, get that qualification that way.
hmm so, what trails and series are you planning on doing this year?
I almost got my schedule hashed out, but I'm gonna do all the Siyaks, all the IKA. I'm looking at a handful of the grubbies. I'm probably gonna do like one or two of those, and then like for actually like trying for AOY, and then I'll probably dabble in a few others when I can, and then um, the Bass series, and then just the boat tournaments with my dad. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I kind of did the same thing, man. I mapped out all of the tournaments and stuff that I kind of want to get done this year.
nice.
So I
Yeah,
got I got everything kind of laid out. Like
yeah. I have an Excel sheet that I set up every like, and I do it on Excel and like put all the dates and look at them all, and then like see what actually fits together.
okay. Yeah, and that's the said Tweezy hold back the juice. Man, I ain't holding back nothing, man. Like let's go ahead and I'm letting everybody know what's up, man. Shoot. Be and listen, man. I used to hold back, man, but now you got a YouTube channel, you gotta pretty much share everything.
Yeah, you like that one bait that I see you use a lot that I have in my box, but I never really use is that Fritz side.
Yeah, I like the fish side a lot, man. I don't know. I just came across it one
It's a
day, and
good little. I mean, it's a good little flat side crankbait. It's just one
yeah,
like I have a couple of them, and I honestly like haven't really thrown them.
yeah. I mean, I like them a lot though. Yeah, I had a lot of success on it. I mean, I throw a lot of cranks though, honestly. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah.
But that's the one that sticks out a lot, man.
Mm.
Like a lot of my cranks that I use in situations like in the championship, the Grubby Championship, where I was fishing, it was a lot of rocks. So I end up I mean, I don't know what I was just thinking like, man, it was really tough out there at Patoka. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
man, like, how can I get fish in the boat? So my initial thought was just like throw the Ned rig. So I threw that for a while and I got bites or whatever. But then I'm like, I'm at these rocks. Oh, and then first came out, I'm like, Spro rock crawler. You know what I mean? So I threw that Spro rock crawler on and instantly got a few bites. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And it was so tough out there, dude. I didn't even get a limit on the second day, and I still came in 10th.
Yeah.
Like it was
I didn't get to fish it this year because it was the same dates as the Crossroads tournament. But
mhm.
yeah, I always try to get in that one. But it was,
Yeah, I would hope to make, you know what I mean, qualify for some of those teams like the Crossroad. Like I missed Siyak's not Siyak, but IKA's championship. I didn't qualify for that.
yeah, I didn't qualify for. So that's one like IKA is always so elusive for me. So in 4 years of fishing, I've only made the championship once, and it's the hardest one for me to get into. I don't know
It's
why.
some hammers, dude. Like
I
everybody
always
fit.
feel like, yeah, there's that, and then me personally, I feel like I have like the worst luck I have in any tournament in those tournaments.
That's crazy.
There were so like three of the tournaments last year. I had four fish like really quick, and I couldn't get a fifth
Damn, that's crazy.
fish.
That's crazy. I did real good on that river tournament, dude. And I actually, no lie, bro. I promise to God, I would have won that tournament. Which one was that? That typical New River tournament. I came in third. I would have won that. I lost the 20-inch, and I horsed it in. I should have just worked it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I'm like, I just got so anxious because it was so big, dude. I know it was easy 2021 incher, like easy, bro. I
yeah.
seen it. Like I had it at the bank.
You were mag drafting that day, weren't you?
Yeah, I threw the mag draft, but I got that one on the crank.
Got you.
Yeah, I had got that one on the crank, and I was just horsing them, bro. Like it had went in some current. It got in some current, and it was already big, so it was hard to fight him out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then with me, I just pulled him. I pulled him, and I got him close. I literally had that fish like almost next to me, dude. And
Yeah,
it's just like,
that's
you know,
smallmouth. So me and big smallmouth do not mix. Like I've had on my share of big smallmouth, like 20-inch plus, and I've not
mhm.
landed a 20-inch smallmouth yet.
I haven't got one either, man. My biggest is a 19 and a half.
So was mine. I got a 19 and a half. I caught a 19 and a half at Susquehanna when I was out there in the bass. And I lost one that was bigger than that, probably. I didn't get to see it because it got me underneath something and sawed my line off.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to fish a few turd. Fish a few turds.
I wish I could. I don't got the PTO to do that. Now that I do the bass, like I only have so many days I can take off, so I use that all to fish the national tournaments.
Yeah,
Back the year when I fished like 60 something, I didn't fish any national tournaments, and so I was using that PTO for local, and I
yeah,
was doing like 3 in a weekend. But now I'm like I can only do the Saturday Sunday.
yeah. See, I was just lucky enough, man, and I have to thank my wife, man, my wife and my family, dude, because they really, you know, they really look out for me, man. And on this entrepreneurship journey, it's tough. I mean, you got your ups and your downs, man.
Yeah,
But the good thing about it is that I have my own schedule. So, you
yeah,
know what I mean? I have, you know, I set my own jobs up. So that's why I'm just so grateful. I'm like, as my wife supporting me as I'm building my business, you know, she just making sure everything is okay, you know what I mean? And she allows me to go fish because, you know,
yeah. That's good.
I can, you know, she can honestly be like, well, I need you around the house and this and that. And I mean, I can't get mad at that, you know what I mean? Because we, as a husband and, you know,
Yeah,
father, you got duties. But, you know what I mean? My daughter, she allows me to go out and she don't like demand a whole lot of time from me. But, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And my wife, she works overnight. So it's like, you know what I mean? When she sleep during the day, I fish. So it's
Yeah, that works out.
yeah, so it works out perfectly.
Yeah, I don't have any kids or anything, but the wife, I mean, she's good about letting me be able to go on like the national tournaments and stuff, like being able
Yeah,
to take care of the animals and stuff. Like I have a dog that's a pain in the butt to deal with, and she deals with him and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, but once I get to a certain limit, though, I definitely hear about it. So
Yeah, 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 for sure. You know, they most definitely. But man, my wife, man, and I'm pretty sure everybody else's wife, man, are champs, man. Like
oh
they,
yeah, yeah,
we
you
most
gotta have
definitely
that.
gotta, you know, what I mean, show them a whole lot of love and appreciation, man.
You gotta
So
have that home support for
yeah, so everybody in the chat, man, if you got a wife or a significant other, man, make sure once you get off this live, you go over there and give her a hug and give her a kiss and make sure she good because fishing season coming up and you gonna want to get out there and she gonna want you to be in the house and spending time with her. So this is your time to go ahead and put in that work. So that way when we ready to get out there, you be like, Tweez, you ready to get out in the water? Yeah, let's go.
you got to
We ain't
see
gotta
how
worry about
you got to see how long that lasts though. Like you'd be like, "Oh, we just did all this," and then it's like that wore off already.
yeah, yeah. They most definitely, hey, they put the reset button like, hey, it's time for us to chill again.
That has an expiration date on it.
Yeah, facts, facts, facts. But yeah, man, I'm most definitely excited. Hey, one thing I wanted to ask you about was those swim bait. I wanted to touch on that. The swim bait covers. Let me see those,
Yeah,
man. Let me
yeah.
see.
So I just picked these up the other day, and it's really nice. It's that like so this Serpa is actually I think they've been making them, and
Mhm.
Spro actually like partnered with them to because I think the Serpa's from Japan,
Yeah.
and Spro partnered with them, but Spro's Japan too, but obviously they're
Mhm.
popular here. But yeah, you just they're really easy to use. Like here's like a 6-inch Gamecraft
Mhm.
swim bait, and yeah, you just give it a good squeeze, and
Yeah, pop
it's
that
easier
thing in there.
easier to go head first. But yeah,
Have you thought of
hooks.
have, have you have you seen those like the swim bait bags? You know what I mean? Like the little bag that you fold over.
uh,
It got like it's almost like a Like if it like a tool bag that you roll out and it has a plastic, Velcro that you put them in.
Yeah, I
And
know
rip
what
it.
you're talking about. Kind of like, yeah, you just roll it up.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe strap it down with some Velcro. I
The
think
reason
I'm
why
gonna
I
get
like
into that.
this is because it's hard. Like it's a nice protection and like it's easy
Hmm.
to get. Like because honestly, when I carry glides, like I don't really have much over like 6 inches because
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence to throw those really big ones. But
Hmm.
like I'm like the Chad Shads and like these, and I usually just left them in their original packaging
Yeah.
and would just throw that in the black pack. But it takes up a little more space, and with these, they're easy to
Yeah.
either throw it in the black pack loose, or just like you could even just throw it in the bottom of the yak,
Hmm.
or
See,
I carry a lot of my stuff in like the like shoebox size like totes from Walmart, and I just like
mhm.
put them under my seat.
Yeah, yeah. I use I use these for like my soft plastic.
Yeah, that's what like similar to
Yeah.
that.
I broke the top on this one, dude. I wore this one out.
Yeah, like
But
I use like
yeah,
this size, yeah. So
yeah. That's why I used to when I worked at the hospital in Chow, I used to put all the crayons and markers in the boxes like that. But yeah, man, I picked up a few. Like you said, you just said the Chad Shad.
yeah, that
I
Chad
act,
sled, like I'm not like I said, I'm not by any means like a great glide bait swimmer fisherman, but like
uh-huh.
that one it chops really nice, and I like
Yeah.
how it moved. Like one of the first casts with it last year, I had one on. Unfortunately, I lost it,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, like it's one of those baits, the glide baits and stuff. That's something over the last couple of years. It's been like a work in progress, and it's not even working the bait; it's working to get the confidence to throw it more than
Uh-huh.
like 10 minutes. Because that's what I'm really bad about. Is I'll pick up a big glide bait and I'm like, this is awesome. And then I'll put it right down.
Uh-huh. Ryan said you need to have one tied on this year at
I'm,
all
I'm gonna
times. So
try.
catch
I'm
it.
gonna try to keep it in my hand longer. I know. I see you do it all the time out there in
Yeah,
Ohio.
he's a beast, man. He's a beast. Yeah, Ryan's a beast, man. If anybody don't know Ryan, man, Ryan Dahl, he fishes for those smallmouths in the river.
Knowing
He's
me.
a he's a hell of a fisherman, man. Most definitely be know his stuff, and especially about the big swim baits. He throw those a lot. But yeah, that's what I plan on doing. I think I'm gonna go get one of those wraps, and be able and just tuck all my. I don't have a whole lot of swim baits, so if I get less than 10, I think that thing hold less than 10, and you could
Yeah,
just kind of just roll it up, and
it's kind of like one of those like chef knife things where you like roll your.
yeah, exactly. I seen one a day. Uh,
Yeah, I just did that because I'm only gonna ever carry maybe one or two with me. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna carry like I'm not gonna have like a whole glide dedicated box. I mean, if I got really good at it, maybe, but it's one of those things that it seems like people who like glides, when you get into it, you get into it
mhm,
and you dive
yeah,
into it. I'm too
yeah.
cheap. I'm too cheap to be spending all that money on glide bait.
Hey, listen, man. I don't. How do you feel about knockoffs? And you know, do you
Um,
care, or it just if it catch fish, it catch fish?
okay, so knockoffs, it depends on what you're knocking off. Like it's one of those things, especially in the last couple of years, has been really happening, especially like US market taking JDM market. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the reasoning is like I mean it's not good to do, but like I feel like some of them are just they're just trying to. It's just like the Cinco. Everybody knocked off the Cinco, so it was
Mhm.
just like it's an unfortunate part of the business, but there's not patents on a lot of baits. Like you can't do much
Yeah.
about it. So I
Yeah,
mean,
well, they not honored overseas. So, if you go and get something like if they got a patent over there in Japan, then
mhm.
they not going, you can
But
take the idea or whatever and bring it over here and have no
I
repercussions.
think a lot of those baits, the original makers get their following, and even when you got knockoffs, if you like that bait, you're still gonna buy the bait that you
Yeah.
know. Just like a Cinco, everybody uses Yamamoto mostly
Hmm.
because like they like it. But like me, I was always one buying the cheap Senkos and the cheap stick baits
Yeah,
just because like I could afford it. And
yeah. So
I have no
that
problem. I have no problem with somebody buying something they can afford because I mean everybody has a different budget. Like there's people
mhm.
who can afford the high end stuff. There's people who can afford the cheap stuff. Like
Right, right. And that's what I was gonna get into. Is I buy, you know, what I see in the stores, and I'm all for the brands and whatnot, but like me getting into swim baits now, um I'm not sure if I want to stay in this, you know, in this lane, because like you said, it get expensive, and I just don't know what to throw, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
recently I did go to AliExpress, and I seen like some knockoffs of the name brand stuff, so I'm like,
hmm
look, you
I
know, I
mean those
just
things are always worth a try. But the only
yeah,
thing I worry about those is they might look okay on the outside, but you don't know how the internals
yeah,
are
the internal.
and like how they're actually gonna act. Like
Hmm.
I like to go with the proven stuff most of the time, but if you can find something cheap that works, like
Yeah.
all the power to you.
See, that's what it was, man. Like just the swim baits in general. Like, I mean, I most definitely I I bought a few. Like, I got this the other day.
Those things are sweet looking, yeah.
Yeah, they sweet, and I like the
That
act.
company is part of. I think they're part of Depths now, and they're pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, but I got that. So you know, but the thing was, I'm like, man, I want to get into swim baits, and I want to try some other stuff, but at the same time, you know, I don't want to be spent shoving out, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
thousands of
you
dollars
followed
right
me on
now.
a mega bass guy. I got this nice little new glide. This one I haven't
Yeah.
tried yet, but it's one I'm wanting to try. But
Yeah, I went to Honey Creek Tackle the other day, and Buddy tried to sell me one of those, and I liked it, but it just looked more like a salmon. You
it
know what I
does.
mean?
Okay, I see where you say that because I see that too.
Yeah, and I'm
But
like, we don't have salmon in our in our area. I don't want to fish that.
but the thing about it is like this color specifically, like that looks like a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I love the color, dude, but the one that he sold me actually had a salmon print on it. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I'm
there's a
like,
lot of people especially like California and stuff, where
yeah,
there are salmon eaters.
yeah, yeah. They most definitely eat salmon, but I'm like, we don't have too many salmon, and
But
if we
just
do,
like
they
the river to sea, the, why is it slipping my mind? Their glide bait, it like
yeah.
that white, uh, yeah, like he said, that's the problem with it is like you do get a lot, and you pay for what you get.
Yeah, 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 and that's what it was. Like I got maybe I bought from AliExpress, man. I would say 8 swim baits. You know what I mean? Just to kind of see. I mean, one of them I bought that Mega Bass about Italian. I don't know if that's how
Oh
you
yeah,
say it.
The battalion's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I bought that and I lost it on the river. I actually had the Mega Bass one and I liked it a lot. Caught fish on it, but I ended up losing it on the river, and then uh, I'm trying to build my swim baits back up because I lost a lot of swim baits on the river, dude. I was like, man, whoever find this box, they gonna be happy as hell.
Yeah,
Like they gonna be happy as ever because
is that when you like halfway flipped your kayak or what?
yeah, it went over, bro.
Yeah,
It went over. That big old autopilot, it went over, bro. And I'm telling you, it was hard as hell to get it back turned over, dude. It sucked.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm an advocate for PFD. So if you're on a boat, I don't care if you're on a boat, kayak, you know what I mean? If you even
Gotta have it.
standing in the water, put your vest on.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it, bro. Wear your vest, man. I flipped, you know what I mean? It's a scary situation. You know, speaking on vest, you know, we could talk a little safety real quick. Um, I don't like the ones you put over and just the automatic inflate.
I don't like those.
Yeah, I don't like those either because in my situation, I would rather have one at the phone one that already floats, and you can once you get in a situation, you don't have to worry about pulling nothing. And then even if you're okay, like when I flipped on the river, I was still ready to fish. I'm like, yeah, this situation was okay. It started me a little bit, but once I calmed down and you know, I'm like, man, I drove all this way. I gotta keep fishing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, with one of those automatic deploys, you gotta like put a new cartridge in it,
Yeah,
right?
recharge it and everything.
Yeah. So I prefer to be ready already, you know.
Yeah,
So
I mean, guys should, I guess, people who don't like the regular vests who do wear those. I mean, like, yeah, you just got to make sure you have cartridges ready in case you do pop. Because, like, if you don't have anything ready and it pops, you're done for the day.
yeah, yeah, and that's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be done for the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even though all that stuff happened to me, like I was still in a tournament. I'm like, I can maybe salvage the day. You know, you never know. So
yeah,
it happens like that. But yeah, man, we've been on this thing for a little while though, hour 30
oh,
pretty
yeah.
much. We've been having a good conversation, man.
You can talk fishing all day.
Yeah, you can, man. You really can, dude. Like, but yeah, I just wanted to have you on, man. I don't want to hold you too much longer, man. I most definitely appreciate you tapping in with me. You know what I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
man. It was a good conversation today. We most definitely kept it entertaining. Anything else you want to share with the people?
If you want to see all the baits, go on my Instagram. I have it listed right here on my name at number 3 bass. And
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have any YouTube or anything. I've not wanted to deal with that kind of thing yet, but
Hmm.
maybe down the line we'll get there.
Hey, yeah, y'all go show Merlin some love, man, for sure, man. We had like 22, 25 people in the chat, man. If y'all not friends with Merlin, man, y'all most definitely should go over there and check him out. He man, he's very knowledgeable, man. He has an abundance of knowledge on baits. Um he pretty much tell you anything you need to know, man. Um when I first met him, man, he just, you know what I mean, embraced me like we've been growing up, you know what I mean, as kids, you know, and we've been rocking ever since. So, you know what I mean, cool guy. I only got positive things to say about him, except for, you know what I mean, he won, he took a championship from me. But
Hopefully, get more from you in the future.
man, nah, hell no, I'm not letting that happen, bro. We cool, but I can't keep letting you whoop me, man. But yeah, man, that's Maryland for y'all, man. I appreciate everybody tapping in, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Hey, and don't forget to, if anybody in here not subscribed, man, subscribe to the page, share this live, man. I appreciate everything that everybody, you know, did tonight. If you all tapped into the chat and there, all of that good stuff. But oh, I do have a video dropping later on. Hold on. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to fix a rod. Everybody know how to fix their guides and stuff, but I did a real good job on fixing my guides today. That's a little black.
I got a rod here that I've been working on. That's more than a guide fix. It actually got broken in two.
Oh,
I built the ferrule for it. This is actually one of John Gittner's rods.
now how are you gonna glue that in the inside, and then that way, you know, you'll have some way to secure. I mean, you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna epoxy it on the
Okay.
inside, and yeah, we'll see if it actually holds or not. I
Yeah.
actually haven't had one that I've repaired this devastatingly, but
Hmm.
one of his that I repaired last year, he had the handle broke
Yeah.
right in here, and I fixed that the same way. So yeah,
Now, when do you use fiberglass, or do you just use epoxy and?
so this is actually is a piece of an old rod that I've cut
Mhm.
off of an old a donor rod, we'll say, and we'll put it in there and we'll see if how long it holds.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, man, I'm getting into the swim bait game. I bought this rod. This is Abu Garcia. Oh man, I'm just messing up over here, dude. This long ass ride. This is it's a 7.9, dude. So you know what I mean. It's hard to maneuver with this thing in this room. So small.
Yeah, I don't like the big broomsticks as much. Like I use so
Yeah, this is actually
I know smaller.
medium.
Yeah, I know smaller glides. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's probably a lighter. I just don't like I mean, I
Yeah.
have a 710 rod. This one's 7.6, but it's like it's
Yeah.
a flipping rod, and that's what
Yeah.
I use for
Yeah. Look at it.
for the glides.
Yeah, I broke two of these guys. I don't know how they broke, dude. I guess in the car, I guess, but I broke those two, and I haven't been able to use that rod. And I was gonna buy a new one. I'm
You
like,
broke
you know
the
what?
guides or the tip top?
Huh?
Did you break the guides off of
No,
it?
I just broke the guys. It's just the guys that's broken. And
Oh,
I kind of didn't like the ride actually, but I'm like, since I got it, I'm gonna go ahead and fix it and use it tomorrow to throw my big baits. So I'm throwing all glad baits tomorrow, dude. So I'm throwing the Chad Shad, I'm throwing
the glide
this
way.
web, yeah, the glide wave. I got some mag drafts I'm throwing.
Nice.
Uh what else do I got? I got the Nessies out there.
You ever throw any of the big? You ever throw any of the big? Sorry, I know you're trying to wrap it up, but do you have
No,
any of
I
the
mean you
big
good though. I was actually good to go. I just didn't want to hold you up. You know what I mean?
But do
But
you throw
what's
any of
that?
the big mag drafts like the 8s or 10s?
No, I haven't really gotten into the 8s and 10s, but I throw the smaller ones, the six ones. But this one right here is that freestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
that
as
just
soon as that grass come back up, you know what I mean, I'll be able to get these mag drafts in that grass without getting hung up.
yeah, for sure. You put like a 8-aught beast hook on there.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to find one with an underspin on it. I'm gonna throw an underspin
Yeah, you
on
get
it.
that flashy that owner flashy swimmer with that big. That's a nice one.
Yeah. I'm most definitely gonna roll with that. Yeah, I'm going out tomorrow. I'm probably gonna throw some big cranks too. I'm going big or go home, dude. Like I told you, man. I'm
But
out for big fish.
get a like a big like 3/4 ounce spinner bait with a big Colorado blade on it.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Small,
me and actually
small rod.
Ryan and I'm gonna present this to the group a little bit later, but Ryan and I we got a fishing fam group, and we actually got bingo. We got fishing bingo going on. So I think I'm going to once we get everything squared away as far as the boards and everything and business wise, I think I may present that to some of the clubs and just as an extra thing, and maybe some of the funds go to a charity. You know what I mean, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that'd be perfect for you because you're so versatile. You know what I mean, like
yeah.
you and it's really fun though.
It makes you. Oh well, things like that. It makes you go like if like I'm assuming you're saying like catch a fish on this bait, catch a fish on.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
makes you try things you wouldn't normally try.
And that's exactly what it's doing, though. It make you a better angler. It gets you out there to fish. You know what I mean? Get you out of your comfort zone. Um, Man, it just does. It just has so many positives, with that fishing bingo, and I like it a lot. And we might have like a little buy-in with it, maybe like a little $5 buy-in, and it's going to be all integrity based, man, because there's no way that we can track, what I mean, what people
Yeah,
catch. But if you get your bingo or whatever, what I mean, you can possibly get put into a drawing to win some
yeah.
prizes.
Maybe just take like a picture of the bait in the with
Yeah,
the.
yeah, you just take the picture, what I mean, and then write the date that you caught it. um yeah, so it'll most definitely be integrity based and just for fun. And then I think what we might do is if we get a coverall, you and
Yeah,
what I mean, you get um
cover the board.
a draw, yeah, you get a drawing maybe for something even bigger. So
Nice.
that's something for y'all to keep your eyes open for it, you know what I mean. I hope you all would uh participate in it because it's a cool idea. And hey, it may be one of those things that take off. You know what I mean? So we got it in the works. I just wanted to get, put that little bug in y'all ear. So when y'all see it, I want y'all to support. You know what I mean? And
Always fun to do little challenges like that that can just
yeah,
like not
yeah,
only not that just help you out more than anything.
yeah. And we gonna try to do it to help out somebody else, man. Because just trying to get people into this fishing game and possibly help some people in need. You know what I mean? Because we sending all our money over to these other countries, not helping our own people. And let me do my part.
I might stay out of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a whole nother conversation. But it is what it is. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna have to do it again, man, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, once the season gets going, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah. For anybody, I forgot to say, he's a director now, not director,
admin
for Siyak Club. So you know, we should see some changes in it, or not a whole lot of changes, but you know, we should see some things going on over in Siyak. You know, Merlin got some good ideas. He's conjuring up.
We'll see.
I appreciate you, bro. So I get with you, man, and we'll talk more, especially about, you know, going down to North Carolina.
Sounds good, man. Look forward to it.
Peace.
See ya.
All right.